Hello there, good evening. Some stormy weather is on the way, some wet weather too, all courtesy of Storm Brendan. We've issued a marine level red warning for sea areas off the west, southwest and northwest coast, with winds reaching violent storm force 11 at times. Overland, we've issued orange level warnings. They'll come into effect from 5 a.m. tomorrow morning for Connacht, Donegal and Kerry, and for the rest of the country then from 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. Gusts up to 130 kilometres per hour expected. Indeed, we expect those gusts to be exceeded in some coastal parts of Connacht, Donegal and Kerry. And the impacts from all this, so a status orange level warning means a threat to life and to property. So possible impacts now from the storm, we can expect a risk of coastal flooding. That's all due to a combination of high spring tides, storm surge and of course some heavy rain spreading eastwards across tomorrow. And we've dangerous driving conditions, especially for high-sided vehicles from those dangerous gusts. A risk of trees falling and power outages likely. It's worth noting that the strongest of the winds early tomorrow morning for the rush hour traffic will be in western parts and then into the early afternoon along the east coast. So taking a look at this now in more detail, here's Storm Brendan out in the Atlantic. It's going through its rapidly deepening phase as it engages the jet stream coming towards us. So by 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, the first of those orange level warnings coming into effect, those isobars tightening there along the west coast. And into the morning, those winds really picking up everywhere, gale force winds on land areas and storm force winds in coastal parts. And we'll have that heavy rain transferring eastwards tomorrow, a risk of thunder and followed by some heavy showers. So the winds will be southerly initially in that first core of strong winds, but then into the afternoon and evening we can expect a second core of strong winds into parts of the west and the northwest. So some violent storm force 11 winds there in sea areas off the northwest coast. Those winds then only gradually easing as we go through tomorrow night. But more unsettled weather on the way for Tuesday, rain pushing up from the south, and as that rain meets the colder air, turning to sleet, possibly snow over higher ground. Back now to tonight, mostly dry, just a few isolated showers, but we will have that cloud increasing from the west with rain approaching the west coast there later in the night. Lowest temperatures early in the night of about 1 to 4 degrees, maybe a risk of a touch of frost. But then those winds gradually starting to increase from a southerly direction, gales there along the west coast with storm force winds then encroaching onto the west coast later on in the night. And those winds continuing to pick up everywhere as we go through tomorrow morning. Storm force winds at sea, possibly violent storm force there along the west coast and gales overland with those severe gusts. And we see that heavy rain transferring eastwards across the country, a risk of thundery bursts and some heavy showers following in behind it. So the strongest of the winds early tomorrow afternoon then will transfer there to the east coast, but at the same time another core of very strong southwesterly winds approaching the northwest coast. Temperatures tomorrow will range from around 7 to 9 degrees. That's it for now. Good night and take care.